Hi, everybody. Welcome to Cooking with Kristen. This is a live demo for you guys with all the table parties. With a virtual party, in some ways they're a little informal. So I like to do, or impersonal, I should say. So I like to do these live demos so that we do have a chance to connect with each other. I'm in my kitchen and I have the entire catalog right at my fingertips. So if there's, as we're going along, I'm gonna be doing a demo for you guys tonight. But if there's some other tools that you're curious about or want to see them or hear a little bit more about them, please ask, because this is a great chance for you guys to see even more as we go through the demo. So don't hesitate to ask questions as we go along. What we're going to be making tonight is some chicken fajitas. It's rush hour chicken fajitas, and we're going to be cooking in a piece of stoneware. This is the deep covered baker. Do either of you guys, Jessica or Debbie, have this piece of stoneware in your kitchen already?
No, I don't.
Yes.
Who said yes? Debbie?
Jessica.
Oh, Jessica, you do. Okay. Is yours cranberry colored like mine, or is yours the new gray one?
You know what? It's been a while since I actually pulled it out. I couldn't tell you.
Well, hopefully I'm going to inspire you to get it back out, because this is one of my favorite pieces that I do use a lot. For those of you that are viewing though, mine is a cranberry color. It's not available in cranberry anymore. This is an old one. It's now a really gray color, which is really nice and neutral. But as you're going to see, mine is very, very well seasoned. I've been using it a lot over the years, and I just didn't want to have to start over with seasoning a new one. So even though I have the gray one in my storage that I do bring out on occasion for a party, I just love the cranberry one, and that's the one that I keep in my kitchen. So we're going to be cooking in stoneware. For those of you that are not familiar with stoneware, as I had mentioned, the more you use it, the more seasoned it gets. And that's what is so good. So this darkening that you see here on this piece of stoneware, it's not that it's dirty. It's not that I didn't clean it, because it is clean. That is just the natural seasoning that happens with stoneware. So stoneware is pieces of clay. You guys might be familiar with pizza stones. That's what most people think of when they think of stoneware. And we have those. We have the, the round pizza stones, the bar pans, which have a little lip of a rim around the outside. And then we have these bakers. And cooking in stoneware will just change your world. I don't know how much you guys cook on stoneware already, but cookies baked on my pizza stone or on my bar pan are absolutely perfect. I can never burn them, which is great. You can do, sheet pan meals, pizza, all kinds of convenience foods on them. They come out nice and crispy, as opposed to, being soggy, like, on metal pans or on glass pans. I particularly love this deep covered baker because you can roast chickens, you can do pot roasts, you can do, any kind of low and slow cooking in your oven in this, but you can also cook in your microwave, which is what we're going to do today. So this rush hour chicken fajitas is a super quick, like 10 to 15 minute dinner that you can get on the table, cooked in the microwave. And I know you guys might be thinking, ooh, chicken cooked in the microwave, that sounds disgusting. But there's just something about cooking chicken in stoneware that it actually comes out juicy and delicious and tender. And I wish you guys were going to be here to taste it, because that's really what it was going to, show it to you, is tasting it, not just seeing it. But trust me, it is delicious. So for chicken fajitas, we're going to get started with slicing up some of our vegetables. We need our onions and peppers. And I'm going to slice with the Rapid Prep mandolin. So you guys probably saw this in the party. It is one of the items that's on sale this month. And it's a pretty slick little mandolin in that it has, between these two dials, you can do 24 different settings with it. So with this top dial, you can see there's kind of like little icons here. You turn it to either slice, which is what we're going to do tonight, or a fat julienne cut is one of the others. And to me, that's like the French fry cut. So if you have an air fryer and you make your own French fries, you're definitely going to want to get the Rapid Prep mandolin, because it makes the perfect fries. And then it also has another setting for what's called skinny julienne, which would be more like shredding potatoes for hash browns, or doing like a matchstick style cut of a carrot or something like that. So what's fun with this is that you feed the food in through the chute here. And I'm going to take this off just for a minute so you can see it. And instead of moving your hand with the food across the blade, you're actually pumping the blade like this. And so it's a whole lot safer than a traditional mandolin. And it comes with this little food hopper, so everything goes in there. And by the way, everything is dishwasher safe, so it's really easy to clean. So we're going to slice tonight. Now with an onion, it's kind of hard to see exactly what I'm talking about with slicing, because it has the rings in it. If I were slicing like a potato, you could see exactly what I'm talking about, like how nice and, perfect all the slices are. Oh, I had also started to tell you. So you have the three main settings. which is the slice and the fat julienne and the skinny julienne. And then this bottom dial goes from 1 to 8, and that is how thick your slice is within the julienne or the slicing. So a 1 is super duper thin shave, like for potatoes, if you want to do like homemade potato chips, you want to shave like that, all the way to an 8, which is about 1/4 of an inch. So that's going to be a whole lot thicker slice. So you have just a lot of flexibility with this, and it slices everything from a super soft tomato to a really, really hard sweet potato. And it does both just beautifully. Okay, so I am only cooking for 2 tonight, so I'm not making a full batch of these fajitas like I normally would. But normally I could do like 3 or 4 chicken breasts with this. I'm just going to be doing 1 tonight. And I'm just going to go ahead and take our onion here, put that in the chute. I'm going to make sure I have it on 1. And then I want these not too, like not shaved thin, but I also don't want them real thick. So I have it set on about a 4, kind of a medium slice. And you can see how fast that sliced, and you can see, you know, they're all just like perfectly sliced. And the beauty of that is when everything is evenly sliced, it's going to cook evenly. So that's what you want. If you do it by hand and you get some big pieces and some little pieces, it just doesn't, you know, cook up the way that you want. It doesn't cook very evenly. Okay, I'm looking at this. I think I need a few more onions. So I'm going to go ahead and there you go. And I'm not even crying. That's the other nice thing. So sometimes the fumes get me once I put it in the pan, but right now they're not getting me. Okay, so we have some onions in there. Next, we're going to do some peppers. And I always like to share a tip with you guys. If you're not going to use a whole pepper, so like tonight, I'm not going to use all of this. If I was cooking for more, I would, but tonight it's just 2. When you're not going to use all the pepper, so I'm going to use this bottom part. This top part you see still has the seeds in it. This is the trick to this is the tip for tricking the fruit into thinking that it is whole and it's all in one piece. So if you leave the seeds intact with the pieces that you're not using, it's going to stay fresh a whole lot longer. So most of us cut off all the pepper, use what we want, put the rest in a baggie, and it gets really slimy in a couple of days. But if you leave the seeds intact, it's going to stay fresh for like a week. You can come back and still use it. And if anything, the very edge might be a little soft. I just cut that off, but the whole rest of the pepper is going to be fresh. So like to share that tip with you guys because groceries are super duper expensive right now and nobody wants to be wasting anything. So I always like to pass on some little tips like that. Okay, so our pepper, I went ahead now and cut them in half just so that I can feed it into the chute here. And I like to line them up so that they're going to slice nicely. And I'm going to keep it on the same thick
Meeting.
Everything is like the same.
Don't want to show my face though. No, it's a, no.
Just like that.
Stay tuned for part 2 of what I think is going to be a 4-part series. I really have to get this thing
Somebody
finished.
talking to me or just talking in the background. So anyway, so there's your peppers. They're super, they're all the same size as those onions. So this is going to go into the bottom of our pot. And so now we have our onions and peppers. Next, we're going to put some chicken on top, but there we go. I'm not adding any oil or any broth or anything. All these vegetables and the chicken, all that's going to cook together. That's going to be all the juice that you need. So you don't need to add anything extra to that. That's why this is such a super fast recipe. Okay, so now on top of that, we're going to go ahead and add our chicken. And I don't know about you guys, but you guys have seen this at the grocery store. Chicken breasts are like so super duper fat. Like one chicken is like a pound. And the thing is with that, first off, nobody needs to, again, I used to always portion out chicken, like 1 chicken breast per person. Well, when they're a pound a piece, it's like way too much. And then also too, they just take so much longer to cook when they're that big. So I like to use this little guy that's in my hand. It's called a close and cut. And this little gray panel, I don't know if you can tell, is springy. And there's also a gray panel on the bottom and it's springy. And whatever you put in here, we're going to close around it. And because those panels are springy, it's going to keep the chicken or whatever you put in the middle there centered. And we're going to take our knife and go right through the middle. And it's actually going to fillet that chicken breast. And it's going to, instead of being one big fat piece that's going to take forever to cook, I'm going to cut it into 2 smaller pieces, which is a much better portion, as well as, I think you guys, I had that in the camera well enough, a much better portion, as well as it's going to cook a whole lot faster. So look at that. That's going to cook a whole lot better. And I'm just going to lay that out on top of our peppers. And then we're going to season this up and get this into the microwave. And then I got a few other tricks for you for the rest of our fajitas. So with this, oh, the close and cut, by the way, I love it for chicken. That's like my favorite thing to do with it because I'm always serving chicken and I always want to get those pieces thinner. But you can also, first off, it is dishwasher safe. Everybody always asks when you're putting raw chicken in there, it's like, are you going to get it clean? Yes. But you can also do like cherry tomatoes in here or grapes. And then same thing, your knife is going to go right through the middle and you're going to cut like a whole cup of cherry tomatoes in half at one time, as opposed to going one by one by one. So it's a really fun tool to have in your kitchen. And I do like that it is dishwasher safe. Okay, so for our chicken, so here we have onions, peppers, and chicken. I'm just going to season this up. Let me get this in the camera so you can see it with some salt and pepper, of course, because all of this is going to be a little bland without it. And I am going to use the Chipotle seasoning from Pampered Chef. I don't know if you guys have tried this one, but it is kind of smoky and spicy tasting. And whoops, this is a brand new jar and I still have the lid on here. Anyway, this is one of my favorites for any of the Mexican food. You can do the Chipotle, or the other one that's really good for Mexican food. We have a new, it's called Everything Taco. And you can make your own taco meat with that instead of buying the packets at the store. You can use the Everything Taco. You can use, that for, any kind of like enchilada casserole or whatever. And I can't get the lid open now here. Okay, here we go. And you can measure these out. We recommend about a tablespoon of seasoning per pound of meat. So that would be about what I'm doing here. And excuse me, every time the Chipotle always catches me in the back of my throat. With our seasonings, the cap is a tablespoon. So it makes it really easy that you can just kind of measure that out and just sprinkle that on your meat or your vegetables or whatever. But I kind of go with the rule of no naked chicken. So I've just pretty much covered that with the seasoning. That's going to be plenty. I'm going to put the lid on, and when you put the lid on and you put this in the microwave, instead of like the microwaves getting everything cooked and rubbery and yucky and all those gross things that you don't like about microwave cooking, it's actually going to kind of heat this up. It's going to be like a little clay oven within the microwave. And I think that's why everything cooks and is so beautiful and juicy and delicious. So let me get this cooking. And I'm going to do about 10 minutes for that. Normally when I do like, I sometimes will do like up to 2 pounds of chicken, maybe even a little bit more. Then I might cook it for about 15 minutes, but still you can see how quick and easy this recipe is to put together. So again, that was just the onions, peppers, chicken, and some seasoning into the microwave. It's going to go. And then while it's cooking, we can go ahead and get a few other ingredients ready. But I do want to go back to the seasonings. Have you guys started using any of the seasonings? I don't know if you've gotten any with former parties or anything like that.
Not yet.
Okay, you're missing out. So these, we have like all different, like I always say, we have the country flavors. So like we have Southwest and Asian and Italian and things like that. But then we also have all the spicy things. So there's garlic and onion and all kinds of things like that. They're great on meat. You can put them on any kind of meat, sprinkle them on steak or pork chops or chicken. You can then grill it, microwave it, bake it, saute it, whatever you want to do. Really good on vegetables. And again, same thing, whether you roast them or you steam them or however you do them and then sprinkle them on at the end. Really good on potatoes, especially if you're doing like homemade French fries. That Everything Taco you can put on your French fries and have like taco fries. So you can do all kinds of things with these, but they're super yummy. And I really recommend you kind of, if you're looking in the catalog, whether you're virtual or with one in your hand, there's a whole page of them. There's all different flavors. So just kind of pick something that speaks to you like, oh, that sounds good. And just kind of play with it. And there's also a ton of recipes. If you go to my website or even just go to pamperedchef.com and put in like, Chipotle seasoning, it will come up with some recipes that you can use to use this if you need some guidance in terms of getting started with it. So anyway, but I do love our seasonings. Okay, so that is cooking. We're going to go ahead and get some guacamole ready. And because I like guacamole on my fajitas, want to show you this guy. This is called the avocado tool. I don't know if you guys have seen this in action yet or not. This is one of the items. If you have an $80 order this month, you get to choose a free gift. And this is one of the choices. So that's why I definitely wanted to show it to you. Plus I wanted to have some guacamole with my fajitas. So the way this works is that it has a serrated blade on one side and it's super sharp. So be careful. And then the other side is not serrated so that you can use the serrated side to basically cut through the skin, which is what we're going to do here.
Okay.
And again, I don't hold it in my hand because I have cut myself with that blade because it is super sharp. And then what I do is the side that is not serrated, I use that then to, you can, slice or dice your avocado. And in this case, I'm just gonna slice it because we're gonna mash it up here in just a minute. But so slice it, dice it, whatever you need to do. And then I also use this to scoop it out of the skin. But then really what is handy about this tool is this other end, which is, it has these little prongs on it. And we're going to use that to get the pit out. So instead of taking a knife and whacking it at the pit, maybe missing and hitting your hand, a whole lot safer to do. So you just kind of take this, kind of whack it at the pit. I give it a little bit of a twist and out comes the pit just like that. So super easy. And then I just take my thumb and that releases that off of there. And then I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to slice this up just a little bit. Out and into my bowl. Do either of you guys have the avocado tool yet?
Not yet, I don't.
Oh, you're gonna want it because if you eat a lot of avocados like I do, make a lot of guacamole, it is the best tool in the world. Okay, and then to this, I know there's a whole bunch of different ways you can make your guacamole. My cheater way is another seasoning from Pampered Chef, and this is the guacamole mix. And it's a tablespoon of mix to an avocado. You can go a little bit heavier if you like it a little bit spicier, which is what I do. I do a heaping spoon, but super easy. And it's all the flavors that you need just to make your avocado taste good. And again, it's my cheater way. Sometimes I do fresh tomatoes and jalapenos and all that other good stuff. But tonight I'm doing everything as fast as I can. So here's our heaping spoon of the mix. And that's going to go in. And then I like this little guy. This is the mix and mash. You guys might be familiar with the mix and chop, which is great for chopping up hamburger as you're, cooking your ground beef. But the mix and mash is my favorite tool for mashing avocado, doing mashed potatoes, anything like that. And you can see how easily this mashes it up. And the reason it works so well, especially even on potatoes, which after they're cooked, they're soft, but I don't know if you can see it now that I've kind of messed this up, but these circles here kind of are beveled. So they're not sharp like a knife, but they do come to a point. So it makes it really easy to mash, and it'll mash through things that are fairly hard. And then it also acts like a whisk. So after you've kind of mashed, you can stir and kind of really make things a whole lot smoother. So there's our guacamole, quick and easy, right?
Nice.
I also like cheese on my fajitas. So we're going to grate some cheese. Do you guys grate your own cheese or do you buy it in the bag already grated?
Both.
I drink my own.
Okay, good. I'm glad to hear that you grate your own because it tastes better. It melts better. Doesn't have any, whatever people say sawdust. That's not the case. It's like cellulose or something, but that is not on your cheese when you buy it in the block. And what I like is it just stays fresher a whole lot longer. Like you can buy blocks of cheese when it's on sale, and because they're not pre-grated, they're going to last a whole lot longer. So I always stock up whenever it goes on sale. Now, do you guys have the Pampered Chef cheese grater or do you use something else?
Use something else.
Okay, well, I'm going to show you ours. I don't know how it compares to what you have, but first off, anything that's sharp from the Pampered Chef is going to have a protective cover so that when you're rummaging through your drawers, you're not going to cut yourself. Then it also has this little switch here, which allows it to go into different settings. So I like to use mine on a cutting board kind of set up like this. But you could also, have it open and grate like over a bowl, or you can grate onto, if you're doing like pizza, you could grate your cheese right onto the pizza. And then for storage, it's, it collapses down like that. The other thing, now I don't use it. I try to watch what I'm doing, but doesn't always work. But it does come with this food guard. So if you're one who happens to, nick your fingers, nick your knuckles as you're grating cheese, or you have kids or grandkids that are helping you in the kitchen, I would highly recommend for them using this food guard. So you just slide it on, put your block of cheese in here, and then this is your little pusher. And then that way, when you're grating, you're not going to go ahead and you're not going to grate your fingers. But like I said, I tend to watch what I'm doing. So now watch me as I tell you that I'm going to probably cut myself as I'm on camera. But with that, I don't use the food guard, but you can. It does come with it. It's not something to buy extra. And I hope you guys can see from the camera angle. This is super sharp. So it just grates really, really fast. And you just get this beautifully sliced cheese in no time at all. And it goes in the dishwasher for easy cleanup. So trying to get that in the light that you can see very well. So there's your cheese. And because it's freshly grated, it's just going to taste that much better. Okay, moving on. the best part of fajitas, or you have to have, I should say, is your tortillas. And this is the tortilla warmer. I'm holding it upside down. This is the tortilla warmer from Pampered Chef, one of my favorites. And it just does an amazing job. So you just take your tortillas. These are the small fajita size, but you can do not the big wrap size. Those I kind of quarter and put in here, but just, the regular full size tortillas will fit in here. Take them out of the plastic, so out of the package that you get, tuck them in here. And you can do, I only have 4 for tonight, but you can do like a whole dozen in here, pop it into the microwave. For these 4, I'll do about 30 seconds. If I was doing the whole package, I would do a minute. They are so steamy and delicious, putting them in here. And they actually will stay hot in here for, gosh, upwards of an hour. So, if it's kind of one of those, you want people throughout the meal to keep being able to get hot tortillas, these are wonderful. So I love this tortilla thing. You can also do frozen pancakes in here. You can, I heat up naan bread in here all the time. You could do, if I have like leftover French toast, I'll heat that up here, dinner rolls, things like that. So there's a lot of extra things that you can do with the tortilla warmer. So when the chicken fajitas are done, we're going to go ahead and put the tortillas in there. And then the last thing that I wanted to show you, when the chicken comes out, I am going to go ahead and chop it up using this guy. It's called the salad chopper. Should be called the chicken chopper. They never asked us consultants what to call it, but that's what we all call it. And this thing is amazing. It's just kind of a dual scissors that we're going to use to chop up the chicken. And it's, may chop up the onions and peppers a little bit. I'm going to try to avoid them, but if it chops it up, that's fine. But this is great for, again, in my deep covered baker, I will cook a couple of just plain chicken breasts, chop those up if I need to add them, like if I'm making enchiladas or I want to put chicken on top of a salad or make a chicken salad or whatever like that. And this is my go-to. So I cook the chicken, takes, 5 minutes or so in the microwave, and then chop it up and you're good to go. So just another thing to kind of speed cook along, because as much as I like to cook, I like to do it quickly so that I'm not spending a lot of time in the kitchen. So questions, that's rush hour chicken fajitas. That's how easy it is to pull that together. Do you guys have any questions on any of that?
So you can cook that in the oven too, instead of the microwave.
Yeah. If you didn't have a microwave or you don't want to cook it in the microwave, I would say instead of the 5 minutes that I did here I did 10 minutes in the microwave, I would probably double that. I'd probably do about 20 minutes. But same thing, it's going to be juicy and delicious because it's like this little clay oven inside of your oven, and all those flavors, instead of the moisture cooking out, that lid's going to keep all that moisture in there, and everything's going to be really juicy and delicious. So good question. Yeah. So pretty much, and that's the beauty of that stoneware, is that you can use an oven or microwave. So very, very easy to use. Okay, let me grab our chicken since it is done. I'm hoping it's done. If it's not, we'll give it another minute. But imagine getting dinner done that fast. Is that not amazing? So can you see that steam? Yum, it's going to be so good. And there's our chicken fajitas. So onions are cooked. I don't know if I can get the camera at the right angle. There is really a whole bunch of juice in there. I know I'm not quite at the right angle for that, but the chicken is nicely seasoned. It's nice and juicy. And I'm going to go ahead and just take my salad choppers. It does look like it's cooked. And we're just going to go ahead. Now, some people like to use this like a traditional scissors and hold it like this. I feel like I get a little bit more oomph, I guess. I have a little bit more power in my cutting if I hold it up and down. So I'm just looking at that chicken breast again. I don't know, I'm trying to get this so that you can see what I'm doing, but I don't know that I'm going to be successful at that. There we go. I'm trying to avoid the onions and peppers, but again, if they get chopped up, it's not that big of a deal. It's all going to get mixed up at the end anyway here. You can, kind of cut it into strips if you kind of wanted more fajita or chicken strips. I'm kind of shredding it. You can do it whatever is your preference. And I just kind of give it a stir with those onions and peppers and the juice that's in the bottom of the baker. All those flavors are going to mix up, and it is just tender, juicy, and delicious. I'll hold this up again so you can see what it looks like now that it's cut up. So there you go. Dinner is ready. Like I said, I'm going to put those tortillas into the microwave. I'm going to give that 30 seconds. And again, I'm gonna put a smear of the avocado on there. I'm gonna put my onions, chicken and peppers in there and a little bit of cheese on top, and dinner's done. So thank you guys for joining me for this. I hope you got some insight on some new tools and some ideas. Do want to share a couple of things last minute with you guys. As I said, the Rapid Prep Mandolin is on sale this month. Jessica, as host, you can put your host rewards, so like your free product and your half price options, whatever, against the sale price. So you can really save a tremendous amount as host, but everybody can get the Rapid Prep Mandolin on sale. I didn't show it tonight, but the air fryer is also on sale. So if anybody's, I always say, if you're the last person in America that does not have an air fryer, it's time to get one. And we'll go ahead and help you get that on sale as well. So those are available. And then, as I had mentioned earlier, with an $80 order, you get to choose something for free. There's 3 choices. One is the avocado tool that I used earlier. The other one is this guy. It's called the Scoop and Spread. I call this my peanut butter and jelly maker. So this end is like a silicone spatula. So it's really good for scraping out jars, getting that last bit of jelly out of there. And then this side is like your all-purpose spreader. So like you could spread peanut butter, like I said, peanut butter and jelly, and then cut your sandwich. So with one tool, you can kind of get 2 dual purpose with that. So that's one of the other choices, called the Scoop and Spread. Or you can try out the Everything Bagel seasoning. And this is exactly as it sounds, just like the Everything Bagels that you can get at Einstein's or, wherever you get them. What you can do now is buy plain bagels. And for those of you that like the Everything Bagel, put your cream cheese and your Everything Bagel on it. If there's others in the house that would rather have cream cheese and jelly or something, then they can do that. So it just makes it easy that everybody gets the bagel they want. But this is also super good. My new favorite breakfast is avocado toast. I don't know if you guys make that, but I make, bread with avocado. I sprinkle the Everything Bagel on it. It is so good. And then some bacon and eggs, and it is like the best breakfast ever. So anyway, so the Everything Bagel is also a choice with that $80 order. And then the other thing that I just wanted to share with you guys, so Jessica, as host, you get to take advantage of the January specials, which is cookware on sale at 60% off, and also having the option to get some double free product. I can still offer that special for anybody that's listening. I have till February 7th to offer that. So we still have plenty of time to get in on that. But I also wanted to let you guys know that in February, hosts with just a $200 party, very minimal sales, can choose 2 pieces of stoneware at 60% off. So if you like the deep cover baker that I showed you tonight, that could be one of your choices at 60% off. And it brings that price down to like $39 or something. It's like really inexpensive with that 60% off. And then if you don't have a pizza stone, or there's another piece of stoneware you want, you can grab that too at 60% off. So 2 pieces of stoneware at 60% off. So with that, just anything I can help you with in terms of helping with an order, helping you guys with your own parties, just reach out, comment below where the video is posted, and I'd be more than happy to help with anything. So any last minute questions?
I do have a quick question. So I'm looking online that those scissors, choppers, they say that they're temporary unavailable.
They are. I'm hoping they're going to be back by the end of the month. I've been watching them for some customers. They're not, so they let it, like if some things are going to be out of stock, like for an extended period, like we're just having trouble with production or transportation, can't get it to the warehouse or whatever. The salad choppers are not on that extended list. So that means they're kind of due back within the next 2 weeks. And they've already been out a week. So that's why I think they're going to be, I think they're due back like any day now. So for anybody, so Jessica, by the time we close your party, I'm hoping it's back for you. But for anybody watching this, if that is something you're interested in, what I suggest is place your order and then reach out to me with a text or an email or whatever, and let me know that you placed your order, but you want the salad choppers. I'll halt your order. I can stop it the day you place it. I can stop it from processing all the way. Keep it on hold, and then I can keep trying to add that salad chopper for you and hopefully get it in for you by the end of the month. So I'm hoping, fingers crossed, I'm hoping it's going to be back. So,
Perfect.
and it's just like anything else with what we do is what's called real-time inventory, in that if it's not in the warehouse, just like if you went to the store and it's not on the shelf, You can't buy it. That's kind of the way we operate too, is that if it's not in the warehouse, we're not we're not letting you do a back order or anything. Just because things are kind of crazy, with COVID and transportation and shipping and manufacturing and everything. And we don't want you to be waiting, months on end for an item that was back ordered for you. So we just kind of find it's easier, just let you order what's in stock and keep an eye on the other things for you. So anything else I can help you guys with? But like I said,
So you-
on a food shop, right? Or salad shop, I think it's coming back.
And then I seen there's in the what do you call it? The magazine that you
The
provided.
catalog,
There's multiple different types of knives in there. What's the difference?
Oh, great question. Let me grab, I think I have them both out here. So we have the color coded set, which is what we consider our budget knives, I guess is probably the best way in terms of price. And they also have only a 1-year warranty on them. But let me tell you, I've had these in my kitchen for years. So like, they're not going to get dull. They're not going to poop out on you after a year. So you're going to get years and years and years of use. And my mother-in-law has an older version of these color coded. And she's like, that's the best knife I've ever had. She like absolutely loves it. And she's had it for years and years and years. So you're still getting a great knife if you want to go with the color coded knives, again, the budget knife. Kind of the more professional knife is this guy. This is the forged cutlery. And it has a lifetime warranty on it. So you're still responsible for sharpening it. It's not like lifetime, like it's never going to go dull, but it's like, you're not going to get nicks and chips or the handle's going to break off or things like that. So if any of that were to happen to your knife, we'll replace that for you. But these stay super sharp. Like I'm not sharpening it all the time. It stays, oh, good. I see somebody says they love their forged knives. So anyway, these, they'll stay super sharp for very, very long. They're what's called fully tanged, meaning the blade goes all the way through the handle, so you don't have to worry about it getting wobbly on you. And just this guy, this is the Santoku, is really one of my favorites just because it kind of does everything. And I feel like real chefy when I can cut with it. And it just works really, really well. So forged cutlery, lifetime warranty, kind of more your professional knife, color coded, fun, budget. So hope that helps answer the question.
Perfect. Thank you.
Yeah. Anything else you guys want to see? Like I said, that's the beauty of being in my kitchen, is I can pull anything out for you.
I have a question on the pressure cooker.
Yeah, go ahead.
So it's supposed to release the steam slowly itself, correct?
So when it's done cooking, if you don't push the steam release, it's what's called a manual release. And then yes, the steam will release slowly. And usually in about 10 minutes, most of the steam has released, all the pressure is gone. That little red thing that sticks up that locks the lid when it's under pressure, that will have gone down. I always give it then before I open it though, I do push the steam release button so that it can fully release all the steam before I open it. Now you can push the button and release steam, if you're cooking something that has a real short cook time, like let's say you were gonna, just steam some vegetables or cook some fish or something, like you wouldn't want to do a slow release on that, because while it's releasing, it's still cooking. So if it's a short cook time, I do what's called an instant release, where you push the button, it releases the pressure right away, and then you can open it right away and stop the cooking.
Because I cooked some ham in there and I cooked it for 45 minutes. And then I waited like the 10 minutes, but it didn't, the red thing was still up.
Okay.
It seemed to release it at all.
So it should, but then were you able to push the button and release it?
Yeah.
Okay.
And
And
I
then,
did have to read in the book too, because the first time I've done it 2 different times, and the first time I pressed the button, it turned into a mess.
so how much liquid did you have in it? Do you remember? Like how much liquid did the recipe call for, or how much liquid did you put in it?
It just covered the top of the ham, and the ham was only halfway up.
Yeah, so there's a line in there that's like max fill line. So like always make sure food or liquid is not over that. My guess is if you had like a lot of steam releasing and even like really wet steam, like it was making a mess, my guess is you probably had too much liquid in it.
Okay.
You have to have at least a cup of liquid but you really, it's not like a slow cooker where you do need to cover the food with liquid, because when that pressure builds, so it's going to kind of take that cup of liquid and kind of fill the cavity with steam. So it really doesn't need to have as much liquid as a normal recipe or a slow cook or an oven recipe would call for.
Okay.
And then the other lesson that I've learned too with pressure cooking is, and this is not your case because you just said water or liquid or whatever, don't do a lot of milk in your pressure cooker. Like I did a potato soup once and I just tried to convert a regular recipe, which was the, milk and the potatoes. And it made a huge mess. Oh, good. Thank you for joining us, Joanna. Anyway, oh, let me get back to that, Joanna. I was trying to read and talk. Anyway, if you put milk in it, I don't know what it is about milk, but it like made a huge mess. Like I had soup milk like spouting out of that release, valve, and it was the biggest mess ever. So I've learned, like, if I'm going to make a potato soup, I would use like a cup of like chicken broth or water, basically to steam the potatoes to cook it, and then add my milk at the end.
Okay.
So my guess is that if you had a big mess, you probably had too much liquid in it. And I would try like next time with just like a cup of liquid. That's really, you have to have a cup, but I wouldn't do much more than a cup.
Okay.
So, okay. Joanna was asking about the February host bonuses. She must have just joined late. Stoneware is on sale for hosts at 60% off, and hosts can choose 2 pieces of stoneware at 60% off. And then that's in addition to free product, half price items, and other discounts that you get as a host. All the rest of it, the free product and the half price, is all based on the sales of your party. So if I can help you get some stoneware, I'd love to do that, because stoneware is one of my favorites. I think every kitchen needs stoneware.
Question on stoneware too.
Yeah.
Do you have to warm it up before you, like if I was to put cookies on the pizza one, do I have to warm it up first, or do I
No.
just put?
No,
Okay.
what I have found is, especially with cookie baking, the first batch of cookies, because the stone isn't hot, will take longer. So like if your recipe calls for like 10 minutes to cook cookies, I would give that first tray probably 12, 13 minutes, just because the stone has to get hot before it actually starts to cook the cookies. So it'll take a little bit longer. But then once the stone is hot, your next batch is going to cook true to time.
Okay.
So yeah, so if you wanted to heat it up, you could, but I don't. I just pull it out, I bake my cookies, put it in the oven, and just know that first batch is going to take a couple of extra minutes.
Okay.
Good. Anything else I can help you guys with? This is fun. I love it. I should call this part of it is like trip the consultant. Can we ask her a question she doesn't have the answer to? Or I guess, what is that? Stump the consultant. Anything else I can help you guys with? Well, thank you guys so very much for joining. I wish you guys were here to enjoy chicken fajitas, because it's going to be so yummy. I did post the recipe with the earlier with the tools that I was using, and the recipe is there in the table parties. So be sure to grab the recipe so that you can make this yourself, because it's super easy, as you saw, and super delicious. So have a nice night. Again, I'll be posting this. So for those of you that join, tell your friends to take a look, so that they can pick up some fun tips. So with that, happy cooking. You guys have a good night.
Thank you.
Thank you too.
Bye-bye. Thanks for joining.
Bye.